that you really never know what you're going to get from an event, and that there's some beautiful surprises like when you go to certain events that you don't never really prepare for. And so I think that's the beautiful moments of tango. Sometimes it's not even about the dancing per se, but it's about meeting certain people and having these shared experiences. I think that's what I take away with the journey so far. All right, we are back. This is another episode of Left Foot, Right Foot, and we wanted to take a journey down memory lane and actually talk about what were some of our most memorable and best tango events in our tango journey or tango life. And so those kind of things make it, our preferences are very different, obviously, between the different events we've been to and what made an impact on us. And maybe you all watching maybe have some of your own shared interests as us and similarities. So it'll be interesting to find out if we have things in common. But we're just gonna stick to events in the U.S. We haven't really traveled a lot outside of the U.S. That will be something maybe down the line. And I've been to a couple international ones, but nothing to make a list about. So we'll just start. We're gonna go from our top 5 most memorable tango events in our tango lives. So let's start with your number 5. What's your 5th one?
All right, number 5. Tango Magic 2016.
Nice.
Seattle Tango Magic 2016. Definitely one of the most memorable for me. The people there were super sweet. They're very welcoming, and I don't know if any of you remember this. I know we remember this, but we were totally promoting Seattle Tango Magic with our workouts, because we're working out, getting ready for Seattle Tango Magic. It's our pre-marathon training. So that was just that gave me a little bit of the lead up to it was very memorable, and the event was just really smoothly run, and I really appreciate it a lot. It's I always liked Seattle. It's a great place. Also, afterwards, remember we went to at the end we went to the stadium for the 10th man.
Oh yeah, the Seattle Seahawks stadium.
You have to see be the 10th man.
You know what's funny is I actually don't know Robert's list, but number 5 also for me is Seattle Tango Magic 2016. So I guess we'll just talk about it since it's also my 5th one as well on the list.
Yeah.
I think what I liked about that event so much is the events that happened outside the scheduled events. So we had parties on a boat, we went to people's houses and had barbecue, we swam in the lake. They have a thing that's traditional there all the time, which is we eat like salmon, the salmon bake. That was just great. You're outside in this like little plaza where the public is around, and we're just all enjoying, comfortable, relaxed, eating this fresh, nicely tasting salmon. It's so good.
And then actually I have a funny tango story of that one. So you're at Simonto.
Yeah.
So Simonto and I, we were at a hostel, and we were with our friend. I won't mention her name.
Okay.
No, because but any which way, I was really, I went to have an excursion to the Hoh National Forest because it's one of the only temperate rainforest. One, I didn't know how far the Olympic National Park was compared to Seattle. But I was talking up to Simonta, and he's like, oh yeah, because he was getting into photography and everything too. And this girl, she's like, oh, my friend could drive us, right?
Okay.
And so we're like, okay, cool. And so we were just thinking, oh, it's her friend, and we're gonna go. And we met this guy, he's cool, he's driving us and everything. And Simonta, I love the guy, but sometimes like he doesn't realize when he should just be quiet.
What did he say?
Well, the thing is because he was being like a backseat navigator. And it's like, oh, I think we should turn over there. Oh, I think we should turn over there. And this guy was getting irritated. And during the middle of the trip, we find out this guy thought it was a date with him and her.
Oh no!
And we're third and fourth wheel. So he went out of his way to drive us to this rainforest, and we're like just totally cock blocking him. And I'm just like, Simonta, shut up, we weren't irritating him. He's like, he doesn't want to be with us. He wants to be with her, and she just. she didn't feel comfortable because I guess it was like a blind date kind of a thing.
Oh my
And so
gosh.
she just roped us along, and because we were conveniently wanting to go to this place, and lo and behold, so yeah, that was definitely a memorable story. I mean, the tango drama that you find, like the drama that you get into, and the funny stories that happen at these events are just it has nothing to do with tango, but it's just so memorable.
The side quest.
Yeah, side quests. Well, we ruined his side quest.
Oh my God. Well, how come it was not higher on your list? How about that? For me, it wasn't higher because I think the level of dancing was good, but from what I remember, the venue, like it obviously didn't have AC. I think compared to other ones on my list, I really prefer like higher level of dancing, and so I wouldn't say all around it was the highest level of dancing, but I will say that there was a lot of great dancing there, and there was just a lot of friendly, warm embraces and great environment.
Yeah, I guess at the time, I was really I loved everything about it, but it's just like, when you have to like compare one experience to another experience, I thought there was a great amount of dancing. I loved the dancing there. I thought it was pretty high level. But unfortunately, the other ones on my list, they just edged them out. I mean, it's not whether they were, it's just, it's hard to place 1 through 5
Right.
when they're so close together. It's not like there's a huge gap. It's just, they made the list. Be happy.
That's true. All right, number 4. Well, number 4 on my list, since we both had number 5 as Seattle Tango Magic, number 4 on my list is 2019 Ann Arbor Tango Marathon in Michigan.
Well, we definitely didn't get the same one on this one. I haven't gone to Ann Arbor. I've heard so much about Ann Arbor.
Ann Arbor is amazing, and it still is amazing. The reason why I put this year, I think it was the first year I went. It was at the old venue, which is, I guess, has more nostalgic vibes. It has it was a church, and it had this really eerie, like mysterious, like a warmth kind of thing going. And then downstairs was all a like eating area, and so we all kind of congregated down there, ate meals before, and then would go up and dance. And it was just this really, really interesting vibe that was created from this little small church environment, and the level of dancing was really great. Everyone like really high level. I really enjoyed Ann Arbor 2019.
Nice. For me, it's San Diego Tango Festival 2014.
That is on my list. But higher up.
Higher up.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I liked 2014 was Kona Kai. It was such a memorable place. I mean, when I know why they moved to the new venue, but the Kona Kai had such a unique flavor to it. It was such a fun scene, and it was also just like a big thing to be rooming at the Kona Kai versus like, oh, I didn't make the cut, so I'm at like the spill-off hotel down the street. So to get a room at the Kona Kai was amazing. To spend New Year's Eve dancing tango, like they had that ball drop and everything, that was great.
It was the go-to place for New Year's.
Yeah, no, and because I used to go to New Year's, I used to make New Year's a thing. Like I would go snowboarding on New Year's Day because I like celebrating New Year's where I don't need to be in my car.
Okay.
No, it's just this thing. Like I don't like driving on New Year's Day. I don't like driving on St. Patty's Day. It's just because there's too many drunks on the road.
That's smart.
And I'm parked, I'm drinking, I'm having fun, and I roll over to my room and knock out. What could be better?
I did Vegas for many years.
Really?
Yes. One of my younger, early 20s.
Yeah.
Was just Vegas was the place for me.
Great. But did you drive? Like, you didn't drive on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve?
No. You drive there and then you walk the strip.
Yeah, and then you just crash. You crash. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like that's what I loved about San Diego Tango Festival, because you get that experience. You celebrate New Year's with everybody, and then you just crash out. And it's the new year. It's almost like New Year, New Me, and tango to start off. I mean, what could be better?
Well, that was number 3 on my list, so I could kind of expand it. So yes, San Diego Tango Festival. Actually, it wasn't 2014 for me. I think it was 2015 for me was my favorite year. But nonetheless, it's something about being able to walk out of the Milonga and then have the ocean right there. And then like, it's kind of like our own little camp getaway. Like you walk to your little bungalow.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not like your usual hotel room. It's like you have like your own hotel bungalow. And it was really unique and really interesting. And the fun part is we would all congregate at the jacuzzi area, in the pool area, late night, just in the jacuzzi. Those things, I think, those are the bonus hidden factors that I think a lot of organizers, they don't take into account, but it just happens to work out so beautifully.
Yeah, and there's also great off-site eating venues.
Right.
So it was always fun because, you would go, you're like, oh, like, what'd you feel like? Like, why do you feel like Thai, right? And then you go out there, and next thing you know, it's like everyone's eating Thai there, and like it's another place for you to mingle with people. It's a great place to meet new people, to mingle with old friends, and catch up on everything.
It wasn't that there was a lot of restaurants, it was that there was very few restaurants, and so there was a great chance that you're going to see some people that you know, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like we took over this Tango Island,
Yeah.
right? And so that's kind of what San Diego Tango Festival was for a good amount of time.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
All right. Well,
What's number 3 on your
number
list?
3 for me? San Francisco 2014.
That is on my list.
San Diego, yeah.
2015 for me.
2015. Okay. Well, but no, the San Francisco Tango Marathon was such a big deal. It was like it was hard to get on the list, because they'd sell out at times. It was the most expensive marathon during the time because it was like $200. Back then, everything was just like 100, 125, and that's like $200. So it really kicked it up a notch. I think the level of dancing was amazing there. Maybe if I look back with my skills now, maybe not so much, but during the time and where I was, I just felt like I was the slacker there, and I was like, I felt like
This is the training grounds.
No, actually, it was more like I felt like I was the dweeb that somehow got into like the royal prom court, and I'm like, wow, I made it here. Like, how did I get here, So yeah, it was great. I loved it, and the other thing is, it really, because it was really packed and tight, it really taught me how to be calm and navigate tightly, because like, before we were talking about some of the great small LA Milongas, and I love those places like El Floridita's, and it was almost like El Floridita trained me for San Francisco Tango Marathon, and that's how I felt about it. And it was just seeing that progression, and then having such high level dancers, and also just feeling like at least I was acknowledged and respected. Like, so I was like, I made it, I made it to like the summit, So no, that's what San Francisco Tango Marathon felt like for me at the time.
Well, since it's number 2 on my list as 2015 San Francisco Tango Marathon, I always thought Ayano did a great job of organizing this, and Felipe, of course, but obviously it was Ayano's vision for a big part of it. Yeah. And I just remember that it was the highest level dancing on the West Coast. Right, that's kind of what it was known for. Yeah. Like, this was it. If you wanted like the highest caliber of dancing, and so for me, 2015 was the year where when I was there, I was like, wait, almost everyone here is like a teacher. This is crazy. It's like teacher, performer, teacher, 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 performer, teacher, teacher. It's like everybody around me is a teacher. I was so impressed. I was like, oh my God, what is this? This is crazy. And so I think it was just that level of congregation of talent that just really was inspiring. And I was just, man, it holds a place in my heart. I know that they haven't done it in a while, and I hope they bring it back someday. But yes, that place on, I think it was Sutter Room. Mm-hmm. That was great. Underground, it was like underneath. That was like one of my favorite all-time highlight moments, just San Francisco Tango Marathon.
Yeah.
What's number 2 on your list?
Well, just passed. SoCal 2024.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Number 2 on your list.
Number 2 on my list.
Why?
Well, first, with my tango journey, I kind of made a U-turn, and that U-turn went more into training, So the classes were great. The classes were well balanced. It ran really smoothly, and that was I'm at a point where I'm favoring classes more, because back then, let's say like the later San Diego Tango festivals, I was just say, I'm not here for the classes. I'm here for just the dance and marathon only. But now I just feel like I really appreciate the classes, the thoughtfulness that came through it, and also that, the implementation of a check-in sheet so that the classes aren't too full. That was amazing. And the highlight for me was actually doing the stage team choreography.
That makes sense.
Because like that was, I put 6 months into it. It's the longest thing I've ever worked for in terms of competition. Because even in competition, when I did Salon, I only put in like 3 months to it,
Yeah.
And 3 months, a few days here, a few days there. It wasn't like 6 months, like 4 days a week, 2 hours each time, and just like, all these privates and everything. It was cranking, So, and then you have that team camaraderie, because like you might get someone with your partner and like you cheer with your partners. Like I was cheering for you when you got to your finals and everything.
Yeah.
But it's very different when like the whole team feels like everyone's winning.
Right.
So that was a very, very different thing, and is my introduction to the stage. So it's like opening a new world for me, and that's what made obviously it's probably one of the happiest moments of my life for tango.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Building on that, right? Because we were going to, before we get to our number ones on the list, we had honorable mention. And I guess I had a tie for my honorable mention. And one of them was actually Southern California Tango Championship 2016. And so I'm going to follow Rob on this one. I kind of felt like I had to put this one on there because it was the year where me and Rochelle won all of the categories. We won Salon, we won Vals, we won Milonga. It was just like an incredible like feeling to be like Triple Crown champions. Like we couldn't believe it, especially so young into our tango career, right? To be Triple Crown champion. And so definitely had to put that on the list because in terms of memorability and just a moment in my tango life that I'll remember, I just remember after we won and then we had to go perform a song in front of everyone, I felt like that was like it still is today, the most pressure-filled moment in my tango career because I knew that, this festival, this championship, they're going to be looking at you like, oh, are these guys really the champions? And so this is our moment to either shine or look like complete idiots. Mm-hmm. Yes. And so when we went out there, I don't know, I just felt like I was in this kind of Zen feeling. Like I just felt like I wasn't even in my body. It was like one of those out of body experiences, dancing with Rochelle in that moment. It was just definitely something very memorable. For sure.
All right. My honorable mention, Tango Summit. No, just joking. I was just joking. Moist beds. No, just joking. No.
Oh my God. I actually had a good time. More,
Yeah, I know, but
it's in LA. It's convenient.
I know.
But
I was joking about because the moist beds.
Oh my God.
No, but really, no, it's ESSA 2013 in Austin.
Nice.
First thing is because, I was coming off. That was one of the first few festivals I went to.
Was it Yola or?
Was it Yola? I thought it was ESSA.
I don't remember. I didn't go. I don't think I went to that one yet. I went to Austin Tango Festival, and I know there was Yola and there was something else.
Okay, it might have been Yola then.
Okay.
Okay. I thought it was ESSA, but maybe it changed to ESSA later. But I had a lot of bad streaks with tango in terms of festivals because my first tango festival is Tango Fix.
Oh, that's San Francisco.
Yeah, and it was a one-off.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I had such a terrible time, and I'm like, oh my God, like, what am I doing? Like, do I really suck that bad? Like, I had like a terrible, I spent so much money to go out there and get like shot down. And then I went to the West Coast Tango Marathon, which was actually down in San Diego. That was another one-off, and that kind of revived my idea of like, oh, hey, I'm actually accepted.
Okay.
But it was ESSA. That's actually my third festival
Ever.
Yeah. Okay. And I went out there and Elite did a great job. Mark Richmond, definitely a great job. And I got to really bond with Mark over, understanding like the Austin lifestyle over cowboy boots and everything. I got to drive off to, there's a gorge out there too. It's a great swing area. It was great. It was nice. Austin barbecue. So it was a lot of things that I marked off my to-do list, like my bucket list. And not just that, the venue was really nice. It was in this like Scottish Rite church. So lots of stained glass, really beautiful. They had a lot of themed events. So there was I think a Bollywood night where you'd wear, because I love themed events. So it was nice to have everyone in that Bollywood theme. And there's a costume theme also on another night. So it was just well thought out, well executed, and if I was a better dancer where I could actually get better dances, it probably would have scored higher. But during the time, it was my third festival. I was still green. So, yeah. But even then, it was just very memorable.
Nice.
All right, number one.
Well, so I've been to a lot of events over the years, and it was tough to make this list. Honestly, there's a lot of great ones that just missed the cut. But this one just stands out as the most recent, and I was just simply blown away. It was 2021 Entrega, and I think for anyone that was there, it was the first year of Entrega in New Jersey or New York, on the East Coast, and it was just after everything started opening up again. And so for me, I hadn't really danced in like 2 years, right? Because during time of COVID, I just imagined that tango didn't exist anymore, because I didn't want to feel like I missed it. So I just imagined that it was banished. And so I didn't even tempt myself. I didn't listen to tango music. I didn't watch anything tango related, nothing, right? For almost 2 years. And then as I was getting back into it, we hear about La Entrega, and we're like, all right, why not try it? And we went. When I went, I was blown away. I was like, wow, like everybody came out from the first year of Entrega. And I think it's like a lot of it was also because it was the very first time like to reconnect.
Yep.
And so it's a lot of combining things. It was a great event, great venue, really well organized, but it's just something about the magical feeling of reconnecting with people. And then every great dancer was there. I felt like it was just so amazing. All of my favorite dancers were there, and it was just such a special moment.
Mm. All right, for me, it was the last Tango Element. I think it was 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
One was it was because it was Natasha's birthday gift. That was the first thing, because like she was meaning to go, but then she canceled out because during the time she broke up with Ruben.
Yeah.
And then it was my gift for her.
Yeah,
that I paid for. Yeah, so that was a big thing. And you know what? So it sounds kind of funny, but the most comfortable beds I've ever slayed in a hotel. I mean,
that's why it's number one.
No, that's not, but you know what? Like when you think about hotel accommodations and like when you're beating yourself up over a Chicho class, like you want a bed that is comfortable and just like makes you melt and just go, So definitely the beds were a bonus, but what really got to me was, during the time I was a big Chicho fan. Me and Dawe were definitely chasing Chicho.
Yeah.
And it made me realize how far I was from actually even attempting a Chicho idea, But
that's true. You don't know who you are until you take a Chicho workshop with your partner. You're like, that's a true test.
Yeah. But no, what it really was with me was to participate in the charla. To have like Chicho and Javier in the same room. Yeah. That was, and just to get their talk on it. Like, I was a big Javier fan too, so it was the first time I was able to take a Javier class. Yeah. So that was very memorable. DC is great. The venue was amazing. It was very elegant, all around elegant. Like, if I were to think about tango and I think about tango elegance, like Julia did a great job of just bringing that magic out. It's like, because it almost felt like the red carpets were rolled out for me. It wasn't like I was a celebrity, but I felt like I was at a celebrity party in that, like in a sense where people were all dressed up. It was a black and white tie event. So it made me feel like I was part of something important. And then in addition to that, for it being the last element and to participate in the Charla, like I paid extra to do the Charla, and I'm like, that was worth every penny for me, because I think Charlas now kind of get sidetracked with like, baloney questions. Like, where it ends up being like a struggle session.
Yeah.
You know, where this was actually, I think the trial was done really well. People asked, poignant questions, and we got great answers. All around, I put so much focus on good classes and good communication and well-organized classes, and I think, if Julie did the element again, I'd put my money down on it.
It was a great event. It almost made my list. I would say it was, at the time, the highest level of dancing in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because like a lot of those years were the times where we were roommates.
Yeah.
Like if you think about 14, 15, 16,
Yeah.
like that time span
Yeah.
was a lot of our events on our list. That's funny. That's like, but I think it just, the only reason why I think it missed out for me was, it was very high up there. I guess it's kind of hard to just, nitpick. It was just a great event. The ballroom was just amazingly elegant, right? I know there was moments of times where it kind of get a little too hot sometimes in there, but they did their best to keep it cool for the most part. And the performances were amazing. Oh my God. If anything that I take away from that
Chicho performance was
I think I almost cried when watching his performance to Piazzolla. It was amazing.
And I think the other thing like that I want to bring out is that, because you mentioned that, a lot of our things that made the top of our list was when we lived together 2014 through 2016. And, if none of you know, a lot of you watch this might not have known this, but, we were part of like the Tango house, and it was me, Derek, Johnny, and Olga and Colleen living there, and we had like Tango parties like almost every other month.
And later Natasha.
Yeah, later Natasha. And, it was just great. It just became a hangout for everybody. And it almost felt like from that, like everyone heard about Tango House. So when we walked around, it's like people thought of, like, I think that's one of the reasons why 2014, 2016 kind of rang out to us, because it was almost like we were our own, we were our own celebrities per se. We were walking through, it's like, hey, they're Tango House,
Yeah.
So sometimes like then people treated us differently, and we were then accepted in other groups like their niche groups. So I think that might have had something to do with it also.
I think it was so magical just because we had a place where we can share our passion for tango and also host a lot of people.
Yeah.
So we just got to host so many awesome people that we got to know over the years, and that's another great thing of having a big shared space.
Yeah, but I think like that, the work we put into that contributed to our experiences in other marathons and other, So going to like, if anyone feels kind of like hesitant about festivals and marathons and stuff, one of the things you can do, and it also helps build friendships from other areas, is reach out to your organizers and let them know that you can host people. Because, when people are staying at your place, it's a bit of a risk because you don't know who these people are, but you could select them. But the thing is, you start building these bonds, and then you go to other places and you start seeing them, and then who knows, maybe they're hosting you next time. But it's that kind of relationship that actually makes tango amazing, especially when you start traveling for tango.
Absolutely. And I think over the years, it was really hard to make this list, because it's one thing, like, do you really value learning? Do you value social dancing? Do you value the social element outside of the milongas? Do you value the bonus things, performances, right? And so even though I've been to so many events over the years, and there were so many other ones I would want to put in my top 5, it just goes to show you that you really never know what you're going to get from an event, and that there's some beautiful surprises, like when you go to certain events that you don't never really prepare for. And so I think that's the beautiful moments of tango. Sometimes it's not even about the dancing per se, but it's about meeting certain people and having these shared experiences. I think that's what I take away with the journey so far. Yeah,
and also just to say, like, to be open to those experiences, sometimes it's about putting yourself out there and risking yourself in terms of hosting people too, because you're giving that experience to other people, and in terms it's kind of like you are what you give, and what you give you actually receive also. So the more you give, you kind of do receive, because there are people who are out there who just kind of take, and they expect other people to do things for them, and they're always the world's around their timetable. But I feel that when you do that, then you kind of start closing the door to these opportunities from other people. And I feel that tango is one of those things where the more you give, the more you receive.
All right, well, check out our list here. Here's Robert's list. Here's my list. Did any of these events make your top 5? We would like to know in the comments section, because yeah, it would be nice to hear what other people think about, in this case, U.S. milongas or events or festivals. And so yeah, let us know your own top 5 list in the comments section. And we will catch you on the next one. Thank y'all for watching.
Thank you for watching the latest episode of Left Foot, Right Foot. It's been amazing to see all of the support we've received since starting this channel.
I know, like, we've been going around and people have come up to us and saying, we enjoy your episodes, we listen to it all the time. It's been a great experience, and I love hearing all of you enjoying what we have to say.
Yes, and thank you so much. We're already at 300 plus subscribers, and keep on counting. We'll keep making the same video, or we'll keep making videos, and they'll keep coming. Thank you all so much for the support.